Hey everybody, so I want to give my first impressions on Guild Wars 2. This is from a quote-unquote new player. I will admit I have played this game on and off for about 4 years, but I never ever got past like level 30. I couldn't get into this game, and it was really until, I'm going to move my mic here. It was really until about 3 weeks ago when I really got into this game. I've been playing the game for 3 weeks now, and I really feel like I'm able to get my first impressions on it. I've done a bit of the end game content. I haven't gotten too deep into it. I haven't gotten to raids or anything. I've done tier 1 and tier 2 fractals, among some other things. I've been working on daily stuff and, doing map completion and shit like that. So this is going to be a pros and cons list. And if there's anything that you disagree with, let me know because, I'm not exactly a veteran player. So, yeah. So this is pros and cons. Let's just go get straight into this shit. The first thing is the community. I have not met a single person that is a dick. I have not met a single person that gives off bad vibes. Everybody who I've met in this game are just really nice and awesome people, really welcoming and really like, all right, we got a beginner in here. Let's help him out, guys. Hell yeah, let's help him out. Just everybody is just so nice that I've met. Now, it could be in the later on and, the higher tier fractals, people could be big time elitists. And I do understand that, and that could possibly be the case. But as of right now, these are just fantastic people that I've met. Absolutely fantastic people. And yeah, so another one here is the game never feels like a chore. There's some things that are, take a little bit long, and sometimes you're like, this kind of sucks. Like, sometimes I go to hearts, and sometimes it just takes a little bit longer than the other ones, but this game never really feels like a chore, at least from what I've done so far. It doesn't feel tedious. Like I said, some things are like, damn it, this might take a little bit longer. Some things are kind of disappointing with the game, but in general, I never found this game to ever feel like a chore, and I never really found me being like, I fucking hate this. I just want to quit. Like with Destiny 2 right now, for instance, that's a game I quit playing just to play this game. Another one here is going to be the leveling and the new player experience. The leveling was fucking fun. The leveling was absolutely fun, and despite the fact that you don't really get a huge amount of goals to do, like when you get to the end game, your goals and the things that you have choices to do widen extremely. So you pick things from day to day, being like, all right, I want to do this today. You have something to look forward to every day in that aspect. But with leveling, it's mainly just map completion and doing your personal story, and it's fun. I love doing map completion. I don't know about anybody else, but I love doing map completion. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the leveling experience in this game. And I never really rushed it too much, despite the fact that I had XP, the XP buff going right now that's in the game. I sort of took my time with it, and I really, really enjoyed the leveling in this game. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, new player experience is also fantastic. I think it really does a great job, at least me. Here's the thing. I've played a lot of MMOs before, so I'm definitely a quicker learner at this kind of stuff than, let's say, my friend who hasn't really played an MMO before too much. He's having a bit of a harder time with it, but because I'm there, I'm able to help him out with shit and teach him some stuff about the game. But yeah, in general, at least for me, it was really easy to get a hang and to learn of different stuff, because mainly when you level up, and you get that level screen, and it tells you what you have next. It also tells you and gives you details about what's going on. So with crafting and all this other stuff, it tells you what to do. Sometimes you go to NPCs for like crafting, it'll tell you, all right, this is what this profession is. This is how to craft it, basically. It's really, really cool, and I really enjoyed the new player experience, at least compared to other MMO games that I've played. Next one is going to be the store. I never feel like the store is really intrusive. I don't feel like I need to buy stuff off of the store, like with Black Desert Online, for instance. Even though, I'm like, I kind of want that, I kind of want to buy that. I'm just kind of like, I don't really care for right now, I'll kind of hold off to that maybe until later. You can also buy gems, the premium currency with gold. However, it is pretty fucking expensive and no one really does it, but you can do it if you want to. I just really really enjoy how the store doesn't feel intrusive. It's mainly just cosmetic and some convenience items, along with you could buy a level 80 booster, which honestly I don't have a problem with boosters at all. I really don't. If you want to skip past the leveling experience, you're on an alt character, for instance. I don't recommend anybody does the booster for the first time, but if you want to skip past the leveling experience on an alt or whatever because you just don't want to level again, you could buy it for I think it's like $30 or something, which isn't half bad. I mean, it saves you about 30 to 40 hours of leveling, so I don't really, I think it's worth it personally. I think it's a pretty decent price. But yeah, in general, I really, 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 really like the story in this game. I don't feel like it's intrusive like other games. And yeah, no subscription fee. This is a big one. There is no subscription fee. This is also free to play. I don't even think there's like an extra subscription like there's with Elder Scrolls Online, for instance. It's literally just no subscription fee. Fan-fucking-tastic. I cannot express how amazing this is. There's also free to play up until level 80 and some in-game content, which is great as well. You can also upgrade your account and get expansions to get the other stuff, which you're going to eventually want to do that. I don't think anybody really plays this game free to play. There might be some people, but I would be willing to bet the majority of the people have at least bought Path of Fire or Heart of Thorns. And I think it's really worth it because you get the elite specializations, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, difficulty and the rally system. I never felt like this game was ball-crushingly hard, at least so far. But I never really felt like in a lot of the endgame content it was like way too fucking easy, So it keeps me on the edge of my toes. It keeps me dodging and not, going brainless mode. It keeps me paying attention. And I like that. I feel like the difficulty is great. I also really love the rally system of this game. The rally system is just an awesome system. So it's like Borderlands, where if you get a kill while you're down, you can basically revive yourself with a bit of health. If you're a ranger, you can use your ranger pet to come and revive you, which is really, really nice as well. And yeah, and I just love that. And I also love how this game is pretty casual friendly. I really enjoy that. There's also hardcore content for the hardcore players, but in general, it's a pretty casual friendly MMO. And I really enjoy that. It really kind of widens the horizon for MMO players, because previously MMOs were basically just like hardcore games, There wasn't a whole lot of like really casual MMOs, maybe besides like World of Warcraft, but seeing, World of Warcraft Classic when it came out isn't really casual today, But yeah, this is just great for people like me who don't want to sink a whole fuckload of time into a game. They don't want to play it hours upon hours a day, but they still want to be able to play the game and have an enjoyable experience, and that's exactly how Guild Wars 2 is for me. And yeah. So where are we at here? Difficulty, reality, we have that. Okay, so next one is going to be the gameplay and the combat. Just the general combat is like fantastic. I really, really love the combat. It's just really fun. It's like a great mix of action and tab targeting. I enjoy tab targeting. I also enjoy action. So, either one's fine with me. But this feels like a hybrid. The animations are fantastic. The animations are really, really great. Even for a 2012 game, the animations are great, and it makes the combat feel way more fun. Your screen's shaking and your character's moving around and shit. It feels so amazing compared to what I previously played at the rather static and just old World of Warcraft. And I really, really love the combat of this game. It's so much fun. And it's one of the things that really drives me with this game is just how fun the combat is. And that's fantastic. We need good combat to make an MMO fun, in my opinion. And the combat in this game is fantastic. I love it. The next one is going to be the builds. I love the builds in this game. Basically, there's your skills, and there's which is your class skills on the right hand of the hotbar, and you just get your skills through the specializations and the your other shit, your skill lines, which is really cool. And I love the specialization system in this game because you can only equip 3. But you get like different passives and active abilities you could choose from, and I love this. And you could choose 3 of them, and sometimes I'm like, all right, let's mix it up here. Maybe I want to get that bonus movement speed from, I think it's like blood something. I always run blood magic. I'm a necromancer main, by the way. I always run blood magic, like no matter what, because I love the bonus minion damage. I love running all minions besides I think it's like the 2 bone guys, and I usually just run Well of Suffering, which is like a really high damage AoE ability. It's like a pulse, sort of like a pulse AoE ability, which is really awesome. I love it. I love the Necromancer. It's a lot of fun, a lot of class uniqueness in this game, which is nice as well. And yeah, the building variety and shit like that is really easy to learn, but it also provides a lot of depth and customization to the point where people like me who like building and like all this kind of RPG depth, there's a lot of that in this game, and it's awesome. I love it. And this continues on with the elite specializations. Next one here is going to be the art design. Art design is fucking amazing in this game. This game feels amazing. It's incredibly immersive. It looks incredible. Despite the graphics being obviously outdated, I love the art style in this game. You don't need good graphics for the game to look good. And I love that about this game. It really feels like I'm in like a fantasy world. It's great. I love it. It really sells me. And yeah. Next one here is going to be weapon skills. I love this. Instead of having, just having it be class skills only, like let's say in World of Warcraft, your main combat skills are tied to, that's being the left hand 1 through 5, are tied to your weapon. I fucking love this. I cannot express how much I love this. This is one of my favorite things about this game. Weapons don't feel like stat sticks. You're actually excited when you get a new weapon, especially if it's a weapon that you like. And I found myself to be really dragged. For instance, on the Necromancer, I love the staff for its sheer AoE, the axe, I think it's the focus, I think it's called. And I love the great sword, which we're going to talk about that in a second, because usually you can't equip a great sword. And I've played a bit of the Ranger. I have a Ranger level 80 as well. I use my boost from Path of Fire on my Necromancer. The Ranger, I really love using the great sword and the longbow for its just crazy AoE and multi-shot damage. Yeah, I really enjoy how it's like, hey, I'm really excited to get this new weapon. I just love that about this game and how the weapon skills are tied to that, because weapons just don't feel like straight up stat sticks. They actually feel meaningful and they feel like I'm excited to get a new weapon. I love that about this game. Coming from like Destiny, for instance, where I'm really excited to get a new weapon in that game, especially if it's something that I like. I have that same kind of effect in this game, and I love that. I love that so fucking much. Elite specializations are fantastic. Basically, once you get everything in your skill trees and shit like that and your specializations unlocked, you unlock the ability to level up your elite specialization, which you get from Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire. So the ones that I level up a little bit is the Reaper specialization for the Necromancer. Essentially enhances your Death Shroud, or whatever it's called, to be a Reaper Shroud, and it makes it really powerful and really fun. Way more fun. Updated animations, just the general animations and the look of yourself when you're in that form looks way better. It uses a little bit more life force, which is whatever, and also becomes of some really cool passive and active abilities alongside that. I love how elite specializations unlock access to new weapons. For instance, the Necromancer, I can now use a greatsword on the Necromancer. No more ranged weapons. I can actually get up close and personal with my enemy and fuck their shit up. The greatsword is so much fun. It has AoE, it has great single target. It's so much fun to use. And the best part about it is it's different from the Ranger and the Warrior greatswords and shit like that. It's different from that. It has its own Necromancer unique abilities to it. I'm not just using the same greatsword I was on the other characters. I'm using a different, more Necromancer-like one. And I can imagine this is probably the same thing for the other elite specializations as well, because I think all of them give you access to a new weapon. There's also another one. I think it's called I kind of forget what the hell it's called. I'm not interested in that one too much. The Reaper one is really cool. I cannot wait to level it. It does take a while to level it, and you do have to do quite a bit of map completion in order to level it, because obviously you're not getting hero points from leveling up anymore. You have to get them from doing the hero point, map completion stuff. But if you're like me and I'm working on map completion right now, I'm just getting these hero points passively and leveling it up passively, and I love that. It really gives you something to work towards, and kind of like a long-term goal to really get that upgraded. And I just love the elite specializations in this game. They're so awesome. Crafting is easy to learn. I love this. I really don't like crafting in a lot of games. The only MMO that I've really gotten into crafting was Elder Scrolls Online, and even then it was pretty complicated. I just like the ease of use and crafting in this game. The crafting is easy, and I love that. At least for me, it's pretty easy. Personal story choices. I like this as well. Your personal story is not just a story, hence the name personal story. You get your own choices, and you get your own motivations and backstory you can step behind it. I really like this. I don't want to make this video a 30-minute video. There are more pros to this game that I have in mind, but I don't want to go over all of them. Let's go and get into the cons. The personal story missions were just not fucking fun, and I think it's mainly because I chose the Order of the Vigil or something, which is like a kind of balls deep combat one. But unfortunately, none of these missions felt fun at all. I did not enjoy a single fucking mission, and the only reason I ever stuck around for these things was because it gave you a huge chunk of XP and some weapons. That's really the reason why I stuck around with it, and also the promise of having a bitchin' ass last boss fight with Zaitan. The story missions were just ass. I hated them. Speaking of story missions, the last boss fight, Zaitan, I'm not going to give any spoilers here. All I'm going to say is it was extremely underwhelming and possibly the worst boss fight I have ever seen in my entire life. I don't know what the absolute fuck they were thinking with this boss fight, but it is fucking garbage. I don't know why, with like Angry Joe's review, he never mentioned this. The boss fight sucks cock and it's terrible. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I understand, more boss fights in the future are definitely better, but this one sucked dick. It was terrible, and the one of his minions boss fights previously in that mission was actually more fun. And yeah, it sucked. The whole last mission sucked, in my opinion. Gem prices specifically starting at $10. There is no $2 or $5 option. $10. You have to spend a minimum of $10. I don't like that personally. I'd rather have it so I could spend $5. For instance, if I want to swing for 400 gems, I have to spend like 800 gems worth in order to do that and have 400 left over. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Next thing is, if I have a pretty high-end PC. I have a bitchin' ass PC, and I'm not able to run this game on high-end settings without frame rate issues. This sucks. I don't know why. It's not definitely it's not a very graphically intensive game. Why can't I run this on high-end settings? I've tried fixing it, and ultimately the thing that really fixed it is setting everything on medium and setting the character model graphics to low, and at that point I can actually have good frame rate, but this kind of sucks. I don't like that. That's all the cons. The pros so outweigh the cons here, and the verdict here is, despite its issues, it's, in my opinion, the best MMO out there, and it's honestly no lie here. It's one of the best games I have ever played. I have not experienced a sheer amount of enjoyment with the game as I have with Guild Wars 2 in a very, very long time, possibly since I first started playing Destiny in September of 2015. This game is fucking fantastic. I don't know why more people don't play this game. I really don't. This game is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. It's, like I said, one of the best games I've ever played. Every time I play this game, I'm in a serious happy place. I enjoy playing it so much. And I will always remember this game as being one of the funnest games I've ever played, at least in the current state of when I'm playing right now. Remember, this is a first impressions video. Alright, this is not a full-on review. I've not played the living shit out of this game. I've played like 80 hours maybe, and I don't consider that to be, actually, yeah, like 80 hours of the game. I don't consider that to be a living shitload for an MMO game. Sorry, just having some water. Anyway, that's going to cover this. Yeah, great game. I absolutely love it. And yeah, peace.